Sophia, if you're still there late at midnight, can you just type a message and let me know that you can see and hear me okay? I hope this is all working. I know that there can be a delay, and I don't see on my screen that anything has started. Okay, now I see it's started, and there's a delay, and that's going to really annoy me. So I'm just going to go ahead and, hi, Sophia. I'm just going to go ahead and chit-chat for a little bit. I have no idea when other people will come. So if you, hi, Aramis and Jerry. I think I got it right this time. I hope so. If you see me looking off to the side, that's because I have my iPad set up over there so that I can see comments coming in. And I'm looking at you on my phone right now. So I do have all of the questions here that the viewers who posted questions for me posted, and I will get to answering those as soon as I see some more people popping in, because I like for them to hear me answer their question. Hi, Karen. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you all can hear me. This is so exciting and also nerve-wracking all at the same time. So I'm grateful for you, and I appreciate all of your patience and loveliness. Since I'm a teacher, I like to be uber prepared. So I decided that while we're waiting for people to come, that I would read to you from my gratitude journal from a couple of years ago. And maybe that'll just set the stage and help you guys get to know me a little bit better. So I'm going to read to you a little bit, and if anything that I'm reading to you resonates with you, you can comment, leave me a comment, or leave me a heart, or leave me a thumbs up. Those reactions help me know that we're engaged. So I'm reading to you from my gratitude journal. This is it's probably backwards. It says, a journey is best measured in friends rather than in miles. And a colleague of mine got this for me a few years ago before she moved out of town, so we don't get to work together anymore. But I started to use it as a gratitude journal, and then I stopped. But I will get back to it at some point in time. In the meantime, I'm going to read to you from Tuesday, January 3rd, 2022, and I wrote this at 10:15 a.m. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for being here with us. So these were the things I was grateful for on Tuesday, January 3rd at 10:15 a.m. I am grateful for having woken up to light rain falling because it cleanses my soul. I am grateful for a lovely visit yesterday with a friend of mine because she fills my heart with joy. I am grateful for the power of the wish fulfilled because it guides me peacefully and directly to my dream life. Oh, January 3rd is your birthday. That's fabulous. Well, I wrote this on one of your birthdays, Karen. That's wonderful. Hi, Philip. Thanks for being here. I'm grateful for the love of my children because their love is my light. I'm grateful for my peach candle because its sweet aroma fills my senses. I used that peach candle all up and I can't find the same one, so I don't have peach anymore. Right now, I have fresh balsam. I am grateful for the thinkers who I have encountered that have inspired me to go on my spiritual journey. Hi, Yuman. July 1st is your birthday. It's coming up. Hi, Tommy from Slovakia. Thank you, Tommy. That's wonderful for you to just show up in support. I appreciate that. Hi, Amit. Hi, Mellow LTD Rugby. Where did I leave off? I'm grateful for the beautiful trees that surround me because they connect me to the energy of the earth. I'm grateful for my sensitivity because it makes my world rich with emotion and aligning experiences. I am grateful for living close to the ocean so I can always choose to enjoy its serenity. I'm grateful for my presence of mind because it allows me to seek and find the truth. I am grateful for this day because it allows me another opportunity to experience the joys of my life. So that's what I had to write and to say on that day. I had made it a practice in those years, the year after the pandemic, to spend some time having gratitude for things because it was just a real tumultuous time for everybody. So not just that, but a lot of things were going on in my life at that time, with children moving out of the house, with family members getting sick, with me and my life transitioning into the next stages of womanhood. I say that with so much grace, but it was actually treacherous. And it was really important for me to start thinking about the things that were important because it was really easy to focus on all of the drudgery that was happening. So I forced myself to sit down every morning at the desk where I'm sitting now in my room. It's beautiful. It overlooks the trees in the backyard. And I forced myself to start thinking about the good stuff. And it's a good practice for everybody. And I need to get back to it. So let me just take a look and see what people are having to say. I guess I could see it here on the phone too, but it's super, super small. Amancio Tomas Mabai, hi to you from South Africa. I'm happy to have you here with us. Reset Your Life, I forgot what your first name is. I know your tag name. You are Gwen. Hi Gwen, I'm glad you're here. Carolyn, you need to start your own channel. For me, it's become kind of like not just like a journal. I think at some point in time it will become like an online journal, but it's also become like a journey for myself because as I'm thinking about the kind of content that I want to make, I end up thinking about the things that are important to me, and I'm thinking about who I am, and I'm thinking about what I want the world to know about me, and then it's here on YouTube forever. So I want to show my best self. So it's kind of like a journey. Sometimes it hasn't happened yet, but there might be times when I'm not going to be my best self, but that might be important for me to share too. Anyway, my point is that if you're thinking about starting a channel, you should. And actually, those were some questions that people had asked me to answer, so I will answer those questions about my purpose for this channel. I'll get to that shortly. Let's see who else is here. Oh, Helena, thank you. These glasses are just like these cheap readers that I got from the supermarket. I don't have a prescription because I don't like going to the doctor for anything. So for now they're working, but there is going to be a point in time really soon where the difference between what I can see without them and how much I need them to see is going to like come together, I guess, and I'm not going to be able to take them on and off. What am I trying to say? I'm going to need to have like the kind where it has everything in the lens. I don't know what that's called. Transitional lenses, I think. But for right now, these are just readers. Thank you. I appreciate your compliment. Karen, you tried I have always journaled from the time I was a kid. In fact, this right here is the first journal that I ever used. It's called the Super Kids Secret Phantasmagorical Notebook, and my dad got this for me when I was like 5. You see that? It says, I love my family. I think that my dad is cute. I hate my sister. I love my dad and mom. I love Slurp the best. Slurp is a stuffed animal that I got when I was 3, and I still have him. Anyway, I have started and stopped journaling all throughout my life. I have stacks and stacks and stacks of, some of them are composition notebooks like this, and some of them are journals like this, and not one of them is finished all the way through. But I think that's part of like just life, like part of our process of becoming who we are is we start and stop things and we find what works. And so don't knock yourself for starting and stopping. That's actually fine. We have seasons too, you know, seasons where we're on it and seasons where we're off. So just celebrate when you're on and celebrate when you're off too, because there's a reason for us to be off. So here's an inappropriate comment that I think we were going to remove. Okay, let's all be kind in our comments here. We don't need to, if you're a kid, you shouldn't be here. It's not for you. Hi, Gwen. Yeah, Kelly is suggesting to Carolyn to go ahead and start your channel. Yes, moderators, how do you've done this before, Kelly, so should I just like ask somebody to moderate for me? Do I have to have assigned them already? Can you give me some feedback on that? Multifocal lenses. Thank you, Karen. Multifocal. I'm going to need multifocal lenses soon, which is going to force me to go to the eye doctor at some point in time. If somebody can moderate and is willing to, just raise your hand. Can I have any volunteers? And if not, that's fine too. Like I can handle it. I'll just get rid of the icky stuff if I happen to see it. Okay, so I think that I am going to, I hope you don't mind, I have an agenda. I have all of the questions here that my viewers and some channel and some creators have sent me, and I'm going to answer them. I'll probably start doing that in another 3 minutes or so. Click on the 3 dots by someone and you can make them. Okay, Kelly, thank you. Click on the 3 dots by your name. Let me see. Add as moderator. Let's see, I'm just deciding what I need you to do. Can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live, and also has capabilities of standard moderators. I'm going to make you a managing moderator, I guess. Okay, Kelly, I tap. Teacher Kelly Tag is now a managing moderator for your channel. Thank you so much. Teachers helping teachers. I appreciate you. Yes, Gwen, I'm grateful for Kelly doing that for me. I was thinking about that earlier today, and I wasn't sure how to go about it. So, see, you learn something new all the time. Okay, so I am going to read you some poetry. I think you're getting the idea that I love writing. I always have. And last summer, the way that I spent my summer, or maybe it was 2 summers ago, I started taking some professional development courses for my teaching career. And one of them was a creative writing course that I did online, and we had to learn about some different poetry styles to teach students. And I had to do a lot of deep thinking. I've written poems, but they were always unstructured. So this was a challenge for me. I'm just deciding which one I want to read to you. So let's see. I'm sorry for all the paper noise. I think I will read this one. It's called the type of poem is called a ghazal or ghazal. I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly. It's supposed to be a minimum of 10 lines, and the stanzas are couplets, and all lines have to have the same number of syllables. It's pronounced ghazal, sorry. It started in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East 1400 years ago. They're romantic and tragic in nature. So I wrote one called Affair with Trees. And after I read this poem called A Guzzle, I will start answering some of your viewer questions. Tracy, hi, I'm so glad you're here. Lisa, hi, don't worry about being late. You're here and that's all that matters to me. We have Jewish Standard Time in this realm, so that's like late, really late. My daughter was 3 hours late to her Father's Day deal, so late is good. Let me read this poem that I wrote, and then we'll get to viewer questions. Affair with Trees. I love to find myself in the presence of these fabulous ethereal trees, their great canopy spread high and wide over me, these egoless and simple trees, serving as sanctuary and shelter, respite from the charming bird's endless flight. A sturdy branch exists for each and every feathered friend, generous, gentle trees. After the warm summer storm has passed, the leaves continue to sprinkle down droplets. An umbrella of drizzle shields me from the hot sun. Ingenious, practical trees. And when autumn arrives, the deep green foliage embarks upon its renewal. Cooler hues transform into warmer hues, those unpompous and congenial trees. Preferring green to the brown and orange, leaves disembark, floating gracefully down. The cool winter discards their canopies, those rebellious and primordial trees. I think that's it. Yes, that's it. That's the end of it. Oh my goodness, I don't remember. That's number 6. Where is number 7? It's been a year. And too many papers, and this is my ADHD getting the best of me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that one was at number 5, 6. Okay, yes, that's it. That's my poem. Thank you for listening. Oh, nice. People are saying hi to each other. Thank you, Sophia. Past midnight. Watch tomorrow. Go to sleep. Sweet dreams. You're watching from Portugal. Have a lovely evening, and I appreciate that you've been here with me. At least you got to hear the poem before you went to sleep. All right, so let's get to viewer questions. I had 14 people submit. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Lisa. I had 14 people submit questions. One person submitted 2. So I'm just going to go through these and you'll learn a little bit about me. Karen from At Home with Karen. Oh, and by the way, any person who submitted a question who also has a channel, I'm going to link your channels in my description so that people, oh, and what I want for you guys, because this is all about building community and supporting each other, is when you go into the description after I post this and write everything up, I want you to consider subscribing to the channels of people you've met here today or interacted with or who are on that list, because we're all pretty new YouTubers and we need to help each other out. So yeah, just wanted you to know that. Okay, so back to questions. Karen from At Home with Karen asked me, where in the world do I live? Now, I don't know if that was, where in the world do you live? Or where in the world do you live? So I will answer it. She also wanted to know the climate where I live and if I live in a house or an apartment. So many of you have been waiting because I haven't really said, and Tracy is the only person who knows generally where I live because she and I had a conversation about it in the comment section one day. I live in Southern California in the United States of America. I live in a suburb of Los Angeles. It's in North Los Angeles County. And I live about a 15-minute drive through a canyon, a 15-minute drive from Malibu, California, which is like the beautiful, expensive beach town. I don't live in the beautiful, expensive beach town. I live in just a suburb. I live in a house. It's a 2-story house, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, garage, a backyard with a pool, but the pool now is a mess because my husband doesn't want to, well, partner, husband, right? We're not married. Just call him whatever comes out of my mouth. He doesn't want to hire a pool guy, and he works but wants to take care of the pool and do everything. So right now the pool is as green as the leaves on the trees. I don't know when I'll get to swim in it this summer. And the climate here right now, Karen, if you're still there, is it's about 88 degrees here today. Southern California is usually mild, right? The last few summers have been extraordinarily hot, the hottest summers I can ever remember. So I wasn't born here. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but moved to Los Angeles with my family when I was a baby. And throughout my childhood, the summers were like in the 80s and low 90s, but in the last handful of years, it's been at least 100 degrees, between 100 and 115 degrees for numerous days throughout the summer. Bye, Sophia. See you soon. Right now it's like 86 degrees today, and it's not uncomfortable, but usually in June we still have cool temperatures, so I'm expecting a hot summer. So that's where I live. The nice thing about it though here is that I'm in a valley, so we call it the valley. But if I drive through the canyon to the beach, that 15-minute drive, like the temperature drops 20 degrees halfway through the canyon, and so I can escape the heat pretty easily, which is really nice. Yeah, Malibu is beautiful, Kelly. It's lovely. I visit there often. There's this little place there, since we can drive there quickly. It's a little eatery, like a little restaurant that's literally like a hole in a wall, like it's literally a hole in a wall. Tiny little place right on Pacific Coast Highway, and they have really yummy breakfast burritos. It's called Malibu Country Kitchen. So sometimes my kids have a hankering for a breakfast burrito in the morning or afternoon, and we'll drive through there and sit, we'll order them, and then we drive up to this park that's about another mile north, that overlooks the ocean, and we sit at the park and eat our breakfast burritos. So it's kind of a nice thing. Am I a valley girl? I grew up in the city, so like I grew up at the time when that whole valley girl thing was happening. I was a teenager then, and I was not like, oh my God, kind of valley girl. I was not that teenager. I had friends who lived in the valley then who literally spoke like that. Like people, here I go, like people really spoke like that. Kids, girls really spoke like that back then. But I was a city kid, so my whole language style was city language. Tracy, you are welcome for bringing us all together. It's like brings me so much joy to be able to do this, and right now it's bringing tears to my eyes, literally. I'm that sensitive of a soul. I'll talk about that more in a little bit. I don't want to like start sobbing in front of all of you, but this is really special for me too. Oh, Sophia left before I could answer her question, but Sophia, who is in Portugal, who went to sleep, asked me what my favorite color is and my favorite 80s or 90s song. So I have two favorite colors, orange and green. I don't know why. I just am always drawn to orange and green, even though if you see back there on my bed, well, it's green, the blanket is green. I have all this pink there. I like pink too. So I like bright colors. Let's just say that. An 80s or 90s song. Okay, I was fretting about this for days. I'm really bad with favorites. There's so many good songs from the 80s and 90s. I listened to everything. I'm just gonna pick one that I know. I don't know if it's the favorite. I can't. I can't. I'm sorry. If it comes to mind, I will write you and tell you what it is. but I can't pick one. Melody from Melody, a writer creator, Melody, a writer creator, asked, do I like music and what kind do I enjoy? Hi, Joanne. I'm so glad you're here. I do like music, as we were just talking about. What kind do I enjoy? I have an eclectic music taste. I used to really just enjoy like my oldies, like 80s and 90s music, 2000s, 70s, like 70s through to early 2000s, until my son, who's now 22, started becoming a music aficionado. And when he would come in the car, when we would drive places together, he would ask if we could listen to his music. So I'd let him hook up his phone to the car or whatever, and we'd listen to his Spotify playlist. And there's a lot of good stuff on his Spotify playlist. And he has an eclectic music taste. So he listens to everything from like house music to rap music to emo, I think it's called. I don't know. He listens to new stuff that's like inspired by the oldies. So it's like music from now, from 2024, but it is reminiscent of music from the 80s. He listens to amazing stuff. So there's just too many great songs, Karen. I can't pick one. I don't know if I can link my Spotify playlist to anywhere on here, but I don't even remember what the question was. What kind of music do I enjoy? Everything. I enjoy everything. Let me answer what I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy like obnoxiously loud punk, and I don't enjoy metal music. It really hurts my ears. I enjoy most everything else. My husband is my husband, I keep calling him my husband. We're not married, but it's just we've been together so long that it becomes husband, but it's like, you understand. Mike, we're going to call him Mike. He is a musician, and one day he will have his music produced and out in the world. It's taking him a very long time. I like his music. I'll tell you that. Joanne, you came just in time because your question is next. It's number 4 on my list. What is my favorite food, my favorite memory, and my favorite vacation spot? So, Ray, hi, I'm glad you're here. Stay as long as you can. I'm just happy that you're here. Ray is an important person, you guys. So if Ray ever gives you a suggestion on your comments, if he ever pops into your comments, I don't know why he doesn't have his own channel, because he's like really amazing with understanding how YouTube works, and he's a very good not promoter, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a coach. He's dropped into my comments and asked me questions if I'm considering doing this or willing to try out that, and just drops these hints. And that's why I'm doing this live right now, because he asked when I'd be considering doing a live, and I hadn't even thought about it before. So if Ray drops into your comments, listen to what he has to say. Yay, Joanne, yay, back at you. Yes, Gwen, I'm good. I'm glad Ray has encouraged you also. Coach, yes, Coach, Joanne, thank you. Wayne's leap year. Wayne, you're here. Oh my God, thank you so much. You're a cool dude. I'm so glad you came to stop by. Wayne has a really cool channel too. He's doing this thing where like he was making one video a day and just like talking about stuff that was on his mind. So consider dropping by his channel. Now all of you guys I appreciate, but a lot of you guys know each other already. I just don't know if a lot of you have been to Ray's channel yet. So I'm going to put I'm going to go through the comments at the end and put all of your channel names in my description so everybody can kind of browse through and support each other. Okay, so back to Joanne's question. She's waiting. My favorite vacation spot. It just has to be near a beach. I haven't, sadly, this is kind of depressing to say, I haven't been on a lot of like vacations where we took a plane and went anywhere, just because I divorced early in my life and there wasn't a lot of like money, there wasn't a lot of room to spend money on vacation. So our vacations have mostly been local here in California. So there's a town near us that's called, this question got me down. I know you didn't mean to, but it's just making me think about things I have to do in my life. There's this little town called Ventura, and I love going up there and just like getting a hotel by the beach. There's a place where we can, your hotel room like opens up onto the sand. We're near Santa Barbara. We're not far from San Diego. So any place where I can put my feet in the sand, I'm a happy camper on vacation. I don't like swimming in the ocean though. I just like being at the beach, not necessarily in it. Favorite food. My favorite junk food is donuts, especially the old-fashioned glazed cake donuts. But my favorite food to eat to like keep me alive and healthy and promoting health and longevity, and this is controversial for some, is animal foods. So red meat, chicken, fish. If it's an animal, I'll eat it. Some of you are vegetarians and vegans, and I have respect for you, but that style of eating doesn't work for me and I don't feel my best. So my favorite food, let me narrow that down, would be a ribeye steak. That's what I would say now. So I like ribeye steaks and I like donuts. And I am in very good health, so you guys don't have to worry about any of that. I'm just looking through comments real quick. Yes, Gwen, I'm excited about meeting everybody too. Ray, I have checked the questions. I'm reading all of the questions that were submitted to me. I have them written down in a little notebook here, and I'm going through them. So yours are included here as well. Let's see. Lisa, I know you travel for a living, and I'm like envious. That's an amazing thing to be able to do. And my heart is happy. So that's a good point, even though I don't get to travel a lot. I love where I live. I live in a beautiful place and I can get to the beach easily and I can get to the mountains in a couple of hours. I'm happy. So thank you for that. Yeah, Joanne, California girl. I have New York blood in me. My whole family is from Brooklyn, New York. But yeah, I grew up here and I'm proud to be a California girl. Let's get back to it. Favorite memory. Joanne's last question. So she had 3. Wow. Whew, that's a big one. Lots of memories. I'll tell you a memory that kind of, I don't know that I can say favorite, but it's one that kind of set the stage for the rest of my life in a way. When I was about 4 years old, my older sister, who at the time was in, like, she was taking ballet classes and stuff. She was in like a recital at our local park, and it was the winter recital. So at the intermission, I hadn't started, did I start taking the class? Oh yeah, I was in that recital too. I was in like the 4-year-old recital, but I had already done my dance, and I guess we were having an intermission and then she was going to do hers. So I was, oh my God, it all just came back to me. So I was wearing like my tights and my leotard and my tutu and I think I had my tap shoes on. It was kind of cold. We were outside in the courtyard of the park auditorium area. Sorry, my cat is meowing at the door. She wants to come in. My dad was there and he saw that I was cold, and so he said, would you like a sip of this? And he held out his cup and he said, it'll warm you up. And I said, yeah, what is it? And he said, it tastes just like hot chocolate. It's coffee. It tastes just like hot chocolate. So I took a sip of it. Oh, It did not taste like hot chocolate. It tasted like dirt to me. It tasted bitter because he drank black coffee. It was bitter and disgusting and gross. And so that was 51 years ago. And I have not ever had a cup of coffee since then. Not one. I don't drink coffee ice cream. I don't like coffee candies. No coffee. Ick. Never. Mm-mm. I don't mind the smell of it, just the taste. So like I don't even go into Starbucks for anything. There's nothing there for me. Tea, I don't love their teas. Sorry, Starbucks. Lisa, you're a New Yorker. Yay. Excuse me 1 second. I feel really guilty that my cat is stuck outside. I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Come on in. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Clementine might make an appearance. You might be able to hear her down there. She's annoyed at me. I think that she needs to eat, and my son was supposed to feed her, but he might have forgotten, so she's gonna have to wait. Gwen, you think coffee is gross too? Thank you, I am not alone. I drink hot green tea too. Yay! Blood is coffee. Clementine, they're saying hi to you. So there's your story, Joanne. My memory for you. Clem, can you hear her, by the way? If you can hear Clementine, give me something in the comments. I'm wondering. She is mad. Okay, Jackie from Jackie Wolven. She wants to know, what do I do for fun? Right now it's YouTube. I'm doing YouTube for fun. Other things that I like to do for fun. We like to go for drives. You want to see her. She does not like being picked up. So let me see if I can move this. Where did you go? Oh, she's on the other side. You're going to see a pile of stuff on the floor, but that's where it went. Say hi, Clementine. Say hi to the people. There they are. Okay. She wants to eat, and she'll be okay for a few more minutes. You are welcome for sharing, Joanne. So what do I do for fun? I like to take long drives. I like to, you saw that you heard, if you were here in the beginning, that I like to write. I have an artistic side that I don't always get to, but I do like to sketch and make kind of like mixed media art pieces. Do I have anything up here? I don't have anything up here in my room. They're all downstairs. I like to take wire, like bendable wire, and I used to like choose a word. I would just like find a word like love or grateful or whatever, and I would bend the wire into the word, like in cursive. I don't know where I got that from, but it was just like peaceful and fun. I watch a lot of YouTube. I go to the park now that I'm on summer vacation. I go to the park every morning and I take a walk in the park. You've seen some of those in my videos. I like being outdoors in nature. I'm not a big hiker. I would do that more, but I need to find somebody to go with because I'm like terribly afraid of rattlesnakes and mountain lions popping out at me, even though they kind of don't really ever do that. Those are some things I do for fun. I'm sure I missed many of them, but there you go. Karen from Karen Wilson Online. I don't know if you're here right now, but the Fur Mom TV. Hi from the Philippines. Glad you're here with us. And thank you, Joanne. Clementine is lovely. I'll tell you more about my cats later or another time. Karen wanted to know, what will I do on summer vacation? I'm doing this. I'm growing my YouTube channel. I'm not doing any teacher trainings this year. this summer. I trained enough during the school year, and we're getting a new curriculum this coming school year, and we're going to have a new principal, and we're going to have a new assistant principal, and we're going to have a new principal of special education, and we're going to have a new language arts curriculum, and I have to get prepared to deal with all that. So no trainings this year, and I was at enough. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be at the beach. I'm going to spend time with my kids. I'm going to rest. I'm going to take care of my social, emotional, mental health, meditating, long walks. We're going to, my kids and I every summer do like this thing where we find like the 5 best certain kind of restaurants. So one year we found the 5 best ice cream shops in Los Angeles, and each week we went to one of them. Another year we did the 5 best donut shops. We did the 5 best taco restaurants. So we got to find a 5 best to do before my son goes back up to college. Oh, and his girlfriend is going to come and visit. She's going to come down in about a month, and I haven't met her yet, so I'll be spending time with her and meeting her. I'm really excited about that. Kelly, we're at your question. Bye, Karen. Thank you for being here. It's almost 10 a.m. Saturday morning. You have to do stuff. Go do stuff. I know you're in the other side of the world. Thanks for being here for as long as you were. I do appreciate that so much, that you were here. Kelly, I don't teach special ed, but I have had children with special needs in my classroom every year for the last number of years. Some of them have a one-on-one with them, or the children from the lower grade autism classes will like come to my room for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour each day, so they can prepare for, and I can't think of the word right now, so they can prepare for being in the general education classroom. So they can prepare themselves for mainstreaming. They tend to use my classroom for that because I'm a more senior teacher and have really good classroom management. But Kelly, now we are on to the question you asked, which was, what's my favorite thing I've done with my kids this summer? We haven't gotten to do a lot yet. We're going to do the food tour soon. We haven't done a lot yet because it's hard to get them all on the same schedule. My daughter is a gamer. Like she hasn't started college yet. She took a year off. So she'll start in August. And in the meantime, she's a gamer, and she is like, has an opposite life schedule than I do. So she's up all night and sleeps during the day. And my son is here every other week because he's with his dad on the opposite weeks. So we haven't done a lot together yet. We've just been, there is something that we do together. We watch a television series together. We have our TV time at night. It kind of reminds me of when we would watch, like, you know, their cartoons when they were kids. We watched the series House. Who knows series House? That was on a few years back, maybe about 10 years ago. I don't know why we started watching it, but we started watching it before my son went off to college, and then we had to promise that we wouldn't watch anymore until he came back for the summer. So we're catching up on our House episodes, and we'll watch an episode just about every night. So that's what we're doing right now. Randy, who couldn't be here for the live, she's from Randy Janae, I think it's pronounced Janae, and she's also a singer. Beautiful voice, you guys should check her out. She wanted to know how long I've been teaching, what grades, and what inspired me to become a teacher. Lisa, yes, we love House too. He's like, it's awesome. We have so much fun with it. We're almost near the end. I think we're in season 5 or 6. I don't want to give anything away for anybody who watches it, but people came back and then people are leaving at the same time. Anyway, I have been teaching. I got my teaching credential in 1999, so I started teaching right around the time I was 30. Currently, I teach second grade. When I started teaching, my first year, I taught a third grade, fourth grade split. That was a nightmare as a new teacher, teaching a split class. I did that for 2 years. Then I dropped down to kindergarten. I did that for 2 years. I had my son and took a year off to be home with him for his first year of life. Then I went back to teach for 2 more years and taught kindergarten, and then took a year off when my daughter was born. And then I taught kindergarten for like another year or so. Then went back to third grade, and then slowly worked my way back down. So I've taught everything but fifth grade, and I have no interest in teaching fifth grade. They are as tall as me. I'm 5'4". They're big. They're annoying. I don't want to deal with them. What inspired me to become a teacher? I don't know. I know that my path was that when I was 12 years old, I got my first job babysitting, and I liked it. I liked being around kids. And then I think it was in college, when I was in my first round of college, like right out of high school, I had some jobs in daycare centers, and I had gotten my early childhood units, enough units, I think it was 6 or 9, so that I could teach. And I enjoyed that, but so this is the thing. Bye, Joanne. Thank you for being here, and you have a great evening too. We'll talk really soon. When I was from the time I was 10, through my teenage years, I didn't really want a career. I wanted to be a mom. I just always wanted to be a mom, and I didn't know what I wanted to be. So when it was time to go to college, part of the ADHD issue was a lot of starts and stops and ins and outs. I started with journalism because I loved writing, and then I left, and so it was a lot of back and forth. I guess what I'm trying to say is I didn't really know what I wanted to be. And so finally I had met my first husband, and we were dating, and I was just working in a retail store at the time. And when we got married, we had gotten engaged, and we were married, and I still wasn't done with college yet. Still didn't know what I wanted to do at 26. But I did know that I wanted to be a mom, and I did know that we wanted to buy a home and we couldn't afford it. And anyway, long story short, I just kind of chose it. I think I was going with my gut. I want to be a mom. I love children. I like writing. I like reading stories. Let me try that. And I ended up a teacher. I'm glad I did. It's been a great career. I just can't say that something inspired me to do it. I just became it. I'm sorry for the long, circuitous answer. Some of these questions are making me think now about how I got to where I am. So I appreciate them. Lisa. Yeah, I think it is common for people to want to be a mom. And right, Kelly, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a mom. The narrative that I had was hearing at the time was that I had to choose something. My parents were telling me, you have to do something with your life. And my first husband was not good with me just being a mom. That's why one of the reasons why we didn't stay married. Anyway, I'm happy with my choice to be a mom and a teacher. Tina from Tina H. Beautiful Journey asked, how did I meet my partner? So this is a fun story. I hope you guys can stay for it. I met Mike in 2011. In 2008, I got divorced, and I think I mentioned in one of my videos, I had a lot of really interesting, weird dating situations. I was 38 at the time. So there was a lot of like cougar stuff happening, like younger people wanting to go out with, a older woman who was a teacher, and it was strange. I'll just say it was strange. But I got married so young that I allowed myself to, be in some situations. Anyway, I knew that those weren't the kind of situations that I wanted to stay in my life. I didn't want that to last very long. So long story short, to the next chapter. I was on, so it was the late 2000s, and there were dating apps. There was Plenty of Fish. There was J-Date, which was Jewish dating, and there was OkCupid. Those were the ones that were available at the time, so I was on all of them. And so I met my partner on OkCupid. I met Mike on OkCupid, and this is what had happened. I had seen his photos and read his I was going to say description, read his bio, and in his bio there were just a lot of things that were like similar, but also on OkCupid, one of the things that they did was they would like match you with a percentage based on questionnaires that you answered while you were creating your bio. So we had like a 96% match, and I hadn't seen anybody yet on there with whom I had a 96% match. So I thought I better look into this guy. And one of the things that he wrote was he liked Nutella, and one day he was going to own a sailboat, and he had a daughter who was around the age of my kids. And his pictures, this was one of the reasons why I responded to him. In his photos, he was like the only one who didn't have like dude photos. There were no photos of a guy wearing dark glasses standing in front of a sports car, or holding a dog with dark glasses standing in front of a sports car, or none of that. All his photos were there was one where he was like on the beach holding his two nieces in his hands, coming out of the water like dripping, with t-shirt and shorts on, dripping wet. It was not sexy, it was cute. And there was another one with him in front of the fireplace at Christmas, and another one with him with his daughter in the supermarket, and he just seemed really real and accessible. So I wrote to him, and I wrote and said like, oh my, we have so much in common. We wrote, like, it was so old fashioned. We wrote back and forth with each other for about 2 weeks. Really nice letters. Like, we weren't texting back then. It still wasn't like a big deal to text. We were, looking at cats. We were just writing letters, and he never was inappropriate. He never asked me to send him pictures or photos, or never wrote anything. It was just sweet, kind of old-fashioned. So we finally decided to have a breakfast date, and we met, and then just it went on from there. Kelly, I am like annoyed with all of that's happening on campuses, on college campuses. Luckily, the campus that my son is on, there's not an issue. It's a small one. I just don't want to talk about like political stuff here, but it's not cool. That's all I have to say. Yeah, I will, Lisa, I'll give more information about that. There's like so many sweet things about how we met, like little stories and nuggets here and there, but it was a dating success story, I'd say. Like, a lot of people have a hard time with dating apps, but it just worked. The cool thing about it was, though, that it turns out that we were living like 2 blocks away from each other at the time. And here's another funny story. We hadn't yet met. Like, we were writing letters on the dating app, like through the dating app email. I hadn't even given him my phone number or email yet. And there was a day where I was in the supermarket after work. I was like rushing to do grocery shopping, and I had to pick up my kids from my parents were watching my kids because they lived across the street from me at the time, and I had to go get them. And anyway, I was in the market checking out, and I got back to my car and put the groceries in my car and drove home. When I get home, I get on the dating app because there was a notification that I had a letter from him, and he wrote me and said, "Were you just in the market?" And I flipped out. I'm like, why do you want to know? Like, I didn't know that he lived so close to me. And he said, well, I think I saw you. Were you wearing this purple thing? And were you buying X, Y, and Z? And were you driving this car? And yeah, he's like, I was there. I saw you, but I didn't want to freak you out. And like, I just didn't think it was time for us to meet yet. So he was in the aisle, like checking out of the aisle, like one over from me. And he was looking at me the whole time trying to get my attention, but I was a frazzled single mom trying to get out of the market really fast. And anyway, there were just these little things that kept happening like that made me feel like we needed to really meet. So eventually we did. So that's how I met my partner, Tina, if you get to watch this on the replay. Long story short. Long story long. That was not short. I'm on question number 10. Anne from Anne Livingston Art. Hi, Anne. You asked, when was I diagnosed with ADHD and what impact has it had on my life? So, disclaimer, I am not, I don't have a medical diagnosis. So let me tell you. Last summer, while I was on my summer break, I was listening to a podcast that I've listened to for a while called Unapologetically Sensitive. And it was a podcast for highly sensitive people, or for people who identify as highly sensitive people, or HSPs. And the podcast host is a psychotherapist and identified as highly sensitive, and so she had this podcast, and I would just listen so I could relate and understand myself better. And then at one point during the podcast, she had told her listeners that she was exploring whether or not she was neurodivergent, autistic and ADHD. And she said that, if this doesn't resonate with any of you, I'm sorry, but this is part of my journey to understanding myself. And if it does resonate with you, stay, and we might learn something together. So I was mad. I'm like, I am highly sensitive. I don't have ADHD. I don't have autism. Why is she changing the vibe of this podcast? Like, I really liked it. I don't want to lose this. But I kept listening. And I listened to her for a couple more months, like going through her process of, she got formally diagnosed as autistic and ADHD. And I was relating to a lot of what she was saying. Now, I was deciding if even today I was going to share this with any of you, because I don't know if this would make any of you uncomfortable, but and I hope not, because it's just a brain. Like, I can't control what's going on in my brain. But I was relating to so much of what she was saying. So I took that information to my personal therapist, and we started talking about things together and unraveling some, like life experiences, and talking about the brain and how things work. And we did some like informal assessments together. And it was at that point that I realized that I am neurodivergent. But I don't feel the need to get a formal diagnosis at this point in my life. Self-diagnosis is absolutely valid. I'm going to be 55. I've raised my kids. I have a career. I don't have high needs. A lot of it is more sensory needs and just the way that I process information. So I diagnosed myself about a year ago. And the impact that it's had on my life, finding out that I have a neurodivergent brain, has been wonderful, actually. It's allowed me to have much more compassion for myself. It's allowed me to understand why I've reacted to events in my life the way I've reacted. It's allowed me to understand why I have so many sensitivities to things like temperature and sound, and it's allowed me to understand why I get frazzled easily. I could go down a whole list, but I just have like when you have those moments where your life flashes before your eyes, and you start to understand, like see things again, and then you can have context or put context to your life's events. So my life has a whole new context now. Like yeah, it's something that I'm still exploring. So I can't verbalize it that clearly, but mostly I'm just having more compassion for myself, and I'm caring for myself differently. This is something that I will likely make a video about, because I know that a lot of my viewers have mentioned in comments here or there, thank you for the hearts, by the way, have mentioned in comments here or there that they are neurodivergent too. Yeah, so thank you for the question, Anne. I appreciate it, and it's going to help me explore it a little bit more. Now we have a few questions related to being a content creator. The first one is from Allison, from Hockey Mom WA, I think that's Washington, and she wanted to know who inspired me to start my channel and what do I hope to accomplish with it. So there wasn't a person who inspired me to start my channel. I just felt like I needed to have a creative outlet. I'm pausing for a second to read Tracy's comment, Life in the Wild West. Yeah, Tracy, I appreciate that. Again, I'm starting to cry because that's the highly sensitive part. And when I feel a connection with people, I feel it really deeply, like my body starts to tingle. So thank you. I am learning about myself from being here with all of you, like in ways I can't even express to you. So I wasn't inspired by a person to start the channel. I just felt like it was a good time to, I don't know, put words to all of my experiences and all of my thoughts. And I also wanted to make connections, which is what's happening here, because my kids are older now. I've mentioned this in a video. They don't need me in the same way, and I don't need to be doing all of the tasky things related to being a parent. And I was getting kind of bored, so maybe I inspired myself. This is exciting, and the ADHD autistic part of my brain loves information and wants to learn and wants to get to the nitty-gritty of things. And so what I want to accomplish with my channel is to have an outlet for my creative energies. What I want to accomplish with the channel is to have it monetized so that when I do retire in a few years, I don't know how many just yet, sooner than later, that I have supplemental income and that I have a project, like something to do. And I'm also, one of the things I hoped to accomplish that I am accomplishing is connecting with people. I'm also an introvert, if that wasn't obvious yet to you. And it takes a lot of energy to go out in the world and socialize, and I do socialize, but I don't, I spend more time with myself than I do with people. So I have to make sure that I balance my need to be alone with my need to connect with people and not do too much of one or the other. And all of these, all of you I'm connecting with, and I feel like you're just becoming a part of my world, literally. And I don't say that lightly, I really mean that. I know who you are. I know what your channels are about. I look forward to hearing from you when I get onto YouTube for my own pleasure, for just watching for my own pleasure and enjoyment. I go to my subscriptions and I see which one of you guys who are creators have posted something. I'm always looking like, who, oh yay, Tracy's got something, oh yay, Lisa's got something, Joanna, whoever it is, I'm excited. So I accomplished creating a community for myself. Moving on. Ellen from Ellen's Healthy Kitchen asked, how did I decide the name of my channel and how do I plan my content calendar? Yes, we are becoming friends, Gwen. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Lisa. So Ellen wanted to know, how did I decide the name of my channel, Beautiful Life Sage? So years ago, I thought that I would start a business. I don't even remember what the business was going to be. But I wanted to start a business. And my one of my emails, no, it wasn't an email. There was something that I used that was beautifully introverted. And it's just like, I think it was an email. An email account was beautifully introverted, and I didn't want to use that for a channel name. But I was also thinking about like why I'm here, like not here at YouTube, but why I'm here in the world. And when I thought about like my friends and the connections that I've made with people in my career, or even just like being out in the world, you know, like you go to the grocery store and you just start talking to somebody. That happens to me a lot, where people just start talking to me, and I don't know, the conversations always led to me giving them something, a piece of me in a gracious like way, and helping people. People have always come to me for advice, and so I decided to take my beautifully introverted name and turn it into Beautiful Life Sage, and that just kind of feels like it's me. How do I plan my content calendar? I don't. You're asking somebody with ADHD to plan a content, and you're not asking, but I don't. I probably should, but I don't have the forethought. Like, I don't have the patience to sit down and think through it all. I really kind of fly by the seat of my pants, and I do that with teaching too. I fly by the seat of my pants. I do what feels right on that day. So I don't have a content calendar plan. I watch a lot of videos like teaching me how to find topics, how to research the topics. So I do a lot of that, and I have a lot of these composition books with like that are filled with notes. This one is filled with notes. This page here is like all keywords that I was looking up the other day on vidIQ. So I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. I don't have another answer for you. Gwen, your question from Reset Your Life TV. What features will I take advantage of when I reach the first level of monetization, which is 500 subs and 3,000 watch time hours? Those features are mainly like super chats and memberships and that kind of thing. And I haven't decided yet if I want to utilize those. It depends on how often I am going to do these lives and if this is going to be a regular thing or not. Yeah, Kelly, a lot of things come to me all throughout the day. So I understand. I do have a little notes app in my phone, but it's so disorganized because I open a new note every time I have an idea. So I think there's like 100 notes in there right now. So I might take advantage of like super chats where people can like, you know, donate an amount and get a certain way that their name shows up. I have to research more about that. I'm trying to answer a question that I don't have the information to answer, so that will be TBA, to be announced. Last question. It's actually a two-part question from Ray. I don't know if Ray is still there or not. He said his connection was shoddy, but he'll watch the replay, I'm sure. Ray wanted to know, now that I have my channel, how will I stay motivated to get my next 500 subs? Melody, hi. I answered your question, by the way. You'll see it in the replay. Thank you for asking it about the music. I'm glad you made it here. Ah, good, Ray, you're still here. Okay. Staying motivated is easy now because I have all of you guys. Really, like, you're motivating me. You're asking me questions. You're showing up in my comments. You're encouraging me. I want more people like you. So I'm just going to keep making videos because you are all so fabulous. Like, you're exactly what I wanted. Can I tell you that if any of you are like on the fence about having a channel of your own because you're worried about like what people are going to think, I have had in all the videos that I've made and all of, like, there's probably thousands of comments now, two that were icky. One, and then one person who's like trying to sell me their services who wouldn't leave me alone and just kept like putting comments in there, so I had to block that person. But two people were icky out of thousands and thousands and thousands of comments. You guys are all beautiful people, and so you're inspiring me to keep going to the next 1,000, and hopefully we will share a lot of these subscribers because we're all kind of looking out for one another. Oh, that gave me chills. We're all looking out for one another. Yeah, don't worry if you should be doing a channel, Lisa, because your channel is beautiful. My son actually watches a hiking channel. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's this guy who goes on hikes all around the world, and he backpacks, right? And he films it, where he sets the camera down and then walks and edits it all together. And they're like beautiful, peaceful. Sometimes he goes to sleep to these. My son will fall asleep to these hikes or watch them before he goes to sleep because it's very calming. You should be doing a channel. We need your perspective on the world, and your perspective is out in nature. So, okay, Ray had a second question, and his was, now that I have an audience, have I gotten from them any ideas or requests for content that interests them? And if so, what are those topics, and when do I plan on making content to address them? Actually, I haven't. I asked in a poll a long time ago, like, what were things people were interested in? So a few people answered that they were interested in, but it wasn't in comments, it was in a poll. They were interested in me doing content on being an introvert. So yes, I will, because I am, and that probably won't be hard. The when, I don't know, because I don't keep a content calendar. It will definitely happen though. And I think, like, I've mentioned introvertedness in videos, but I haven't made a specific series on it yet. And maybe I will come up with some, after I do some keyword research to see what is worthy of my time, I will come up with a series about like different ways that being an introvert affects me, or how I am an introvert in the world, or I don't know. But yes, I will do that. Other than that, nobody's really asked for anything. I've mostly been getting questions about how to succeed on YouTube, which is weird because, like, I'm still so new, but apparently I'm doing stuff that people appreciate. So yeah, Lisa, I have this like dream, this weird idea of like having some kind of retreat. I'm not the person that could plan this, but that would be so much fun to like have a retreat where like a weekend where everybody gets together somewhere beautiful, central, where we could all like meet and hang out, and that would be really fun. I don't even know how to, I know that people do that, like they figure that out. I don't know how to figure out how to do that, but that would be a great thing. Ray will send me a list of topics that will work. Okay, thank you. You've been so helpful up until now. I'm just catching up on some comments. Oh, Tracy, you afraid to do a live? No, the last couple of long form videos you made were so like, I wanted to like sit in your kitchen with you and chat with you. Like your energy was so big and beautiful and warm and wonderful, and I would sit and chat with you on live forever. Please do it. Justifying Josh says, well, I already am a success. Hey guys, Justifying Josh is my son. By the way, Josh, if you're still there, you need to feed the cats. Clementine is meowing. And my son has a philosophy channel. He's a philosophy major, so he has a couple of videos up there now, and if you're interested in his take on some things, subscribe to his channel. I'm promoting my son. He's a fabulous human being. Tracy, please do a live and please promote it. And no, I am already a success. Yes, I am already a success, Josh, and you need to successfully feed the cats. Clementine is screaming her head off in here. They are fed. Sorry, guys. Thank you, sweetheart, for feeding the cats. Clementine, why are you yelling at me if you were already fed? I lost my train of thought. Oh, we were talking about Tracy doing a live. Tracy, do your live. You Thank you, Tracy. Josh, you got a new subscriber. Even though I'm a teacher, let me say this about live. Even though I'm a teacher and I talk in front of kids all the time, and that's easy. I said it's easy. If I can talk in front of 8-year-olds, I can talk in front of you guys. It's not the talking. The talking part is easy. Like if you've made videos, it's easy. If you talk to family, it's easy. If you've done FaceTime with somebody, it's really just the same as doing that. The hard part for me was like learning what it is I needed to do and organizing the minor technology that I have and setting up my ring light that I haven't used since I was a Poshmark reseller a few years back, and putting my phone on this little whatever it's called thing here, and figuring out how to have my iPad do what it needs to do. I don't have a desktop computer, so like all of these things and like learning how to schedule it, that was more difficult and stressful than sitting here and talking with you guys. I mean, I'm literally like looking at myself in the phone and talking. It's not scary. It's not scary. And if you have subscribers and people in your community who are already supportive of you, they would be there. Like, this has been a fabulous experience. I think Kelly had to, I don't know if even Kelly has had to take any comments out yet. I had to take one commenter out who said something like butt, poopy head. It was probably a 12-year-old. Kelly, have you had to get rid of anything in there, or has everything been easygoing for you? See, she hasn't. Everything's been good. As people probably see, it's this old lady here. I don't consider myself old, but like the 20-year-olds who go through the lives are going to see, what's this old lady wearing glasses and daisy earrings? I don't want to watch that. So don't worry about that, Tracy. I want you to do it. If you want, I'll come to your house and I'll help you. Oh yeah, Melody, I agree. Social anxiety and awkwardness is difficult when it's one-on-one. Yeah, I have not struggled so much with social anxiety in general, but like specifically with new people. So for instance, where I work as a teacher, and in the last, I've been at the school that I'm at right now for since 2006, and we've had like 8 principals since then, which is a lot. And in the last 5 years, we've had 5. So it's been a new principal every year. And when I have to talk with like an important person one-on-one, I'm not able to communicate like I am right now. I'm really cautious with my words, and I have to stop and think, and I can't look at them very well. I think part of that's the neurodivergent stuff. It is hard one-on-one with important people. Yeah, Kelly, we should check out your channel and come on over to your lives. I know I need to, because you're in my field. Yes, Tracy, my email is in my description of my video, so just email me and then we can be in contact with each other. I've been waiting for you. If I get an email from you, I'm gonna like jump up and down and scream and yell, because you're like, I love your energy. And Kelly, I know I owe you an interview. I'm trying to like get into the groove of my vacation. And I should have replied to your email and told you that I got it. I'm sorry, I did get it. And let me reply to you sometime over this weekend, and then we can set that up. I answered all of the questions that you guys sent me. We have been here for an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm happy to go longer if you guys are happy to stay longer. I was thinking like 2 hours. That's what like the recommendations were for these type of lives. But if there's something you guys want to know, if you have another question, if you want me to do something like appropriate, I don't know. Think about that, chat amongst yourselves. I gotta let my cat out because she just dumped my hamper over and is going through my dirty clothes. So hold on a second. Come on, let's go. Out. Out. I think you're annoyed because I'm talking to people and you don't know what I'm talking to. Go, 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 go. Okay. She just reminded me I have to put my clothes away. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Delval. What is your first name? Revamped by Delval. I don't want to call you Revamped by Delval, and I don't know your first name. But thank you for the compliment. I can read you another poem. Would you like to hear another poem? Let me do that. Daniela, nice to meet you, and thank you for being here. I appreciate that so much. Okay, I'm going to read you another poem because I still have 9 of you here and you're staying. So I'm going to read you an ode. This is an ode that I wrote to my stuffed animal, Slurp. I would show him to you, but he's fell back behind my bed, and in order for me to get him out, you're going to see me bending down. You know what? I'm just going to turn the camera away because I don't want you to see my back end looking at you. So I'm going to get Slurp. Hold on a second. Just going to turn you this way, and you can look at my dresser. That dresser there, I got when I was 16, and it was 100 years old then. So it's an antique. Enjoy. Okay, I'm back. This is Slurp. I got Slurp in 1972. My grandparents, who lived in New York, would come to visit in the summer, and I was 3 years old. 3? I think I was 3. Maybe it was 1971, I don't know, 72, I don't remember. Anyway, I know that I was 3. And she took my grandma had her suitcase and she put it on my mom's bed. We lived in this little apartment building, and she had a present in there for me and my sister. And Slurp was, I don't know if who of you were alive in the early, if you were alive, if you were a kid in the early 70s like me, but stuffed animals back then came in these big humongous boxes with that loud like thick plastic on the front cover, and it was like a big cardboard box. So I saw him in there, and it looked totally different back then. This was white, and his eyes were black with the white bottom, and this was a puffy black nose, like a puffball, and then this little tongue here was a long red tongue that would come out. And his ears, there's like wire in this part of his ears here that's all pushed down at the bottom, because his ears used to be able to be like moved around. But when I was little, the wire started poking through. So my mom took Slurp away from me for a few days, and she was like pushed the wire back in to keep me safe. I was so sad. Anyway, I named him Slurp because when I was little, before I named him, I would just have him go up to people and go like this and give them kisses, and I'd say, he's giving you a slurp, he's giving you a slurp. So I named him Slurp. And I don't know, he's always been with me. Always. I slept with him as a kid. I took him when we went on vacations. I slept with him when I was a teenager. He was always on my bed. Bye, Gwen. Thank you for being here. Hi, Leslie. Thank you for being here. And Tracy, we have so much in common. It's ridiculous. Thank you, Melody. When I got married, for my first marriage, I had Slurp. And then when I got divorced, my ex-husband hid it from me and wouldn't give it back to me right away. It was really upsetting. But anyway, I eventually got Slurp back. And he's just always around. I bring him to school with me on pajama day when I'm teaching, and I'll always show Slurp to my students because I want them to know I'm a human being, I'm not just a teacher, and I love things too. Anyway, so that being said, when I was a teenager, I wrote this short poem. It's an ode to Slurp, and it goes like this. I look to my bed, and lying there I see the one who I love, the one who loves me. He's all worn and old. He's all worn and old, but I can still see that when I was cold, he was there for me. The times that I cried and ran to my room, there sat the one who took all my gloom. This poem is about a doll that is stuffed, but without a doubt, I love him so much. He's not so stuffed anymore. He's very floppy, but he's mine. And I told my kids that when I am long gone, he needs to be buried with me. He just needs to stay with me. I also found out in my journey to understanding that I am neurodiverse that it's very common to attach to an object. And so I think that's why I just still keep him. The texture and the smell, it's all very familiar to me, and I don't know, I can't give him away. He's mine. He's my first baby, but I'm gonna put him down now. So that was my, thank you, Melody. Thank you, I know, he's sweet. I can't wait to see your Raggedy Ann, Tracy. That's awesome. Thank you, Daniela. How about I share with you one more poem, and then I think after that I am going to say goodbye. I have not eaten lunch today. I had breakfast, and although I have tea and water, I'm getting a little bit hungry. I love sitting here with you guys, but I do need to take care of myself too. So I'm going to read you one more poem. This kind of poem is called a sestina, and I don't have in my notes what a sestina is, but I can explain to you briefly. Like, it has to do with word patterns. So you'll hear repeated words in here. Bye, Tracy. I'll see you. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Okay, and this was written for my daughter. It says, my wish for you is live with integrity. Keep your heart open to embrace empathy. When you think you've got nothing left, own your grit. Within each day, find the time for gratitude. With your eyes open, you'll find inspiration. Living life in truth leads to maturity. At times, some will challenge your maturity. It's then when you will show your integrity. In doing so, you'll strengthen inspiration to teach others to manifest empathy. When life gets tumultuous, seek gratitude. Having appreciation amplifies grit. Accepting your deepest fears ignites that grit. Happiness despite fear shows maturity. When fear arises, find calmness and gratitude. In tranquil places, fear meets integrity. When loved ones are fearful, you'll show empathy. Hear my words. In fear, there is inspiration. Witnessing joyousness is inspiration. In joyous rebellion, you'll acquire grit. Mending self-inflicted wounds with empathy. Welcome calls from self to show maturity. Pursue those calls to reveal integrity, receiving all the calls with deep gratitude. Journeys to nature animate gratitude. The bird songs are exquisite inspiration to linger in a life of integrity. Trees surviving drought are prophecies of grit, standing tall, strong, archetypes of maturity. For in nature, we clearly know empathy. Ooh, it's almost done. I forgot how long it was. You're deserving of the gift of empathy. Each day, look for messages of gratitude. Awareness of life's gifts shows maturity. Find solace searching self for inspiration. Memories of both ease, peace, and those of grit. The truth is grit is within integrity. I think I typed that wrong. Madeline, your integrity and empathy mingled with grit and gratitude will likely effuse inspiration and maturity. I wrote that for her. She had a rough teenagehood. She's coming out of it strong. I'm lucky to have her. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I am so happy to have this community with all of you. Thank you. Oh, Melody, that's right. You're a writer-creator, so you know about that style of poem. It was very hard to write. It challenged my focus so much, and I kept like an online thesaurus next to me because I wanted to just like really find the right words. It was hard, but I'm glad that I did it. It was a good exercise, and I love words. Okay, all of you, I am so glad you are all here. This was so much fun for me. I think it was a good enough experience where I likely will do this again, and I'm considering doing this regularly, like maybe weekly. I don't know a day and time yet, and it will likely change when I go back to work in the beginning of August. But if you're interested in having more of these chats together, please leave a thumbs up in the comments, because I enjoyed this a lot. This was really fun, and I hope I've encouraged some of you to do some of your own, and if you do, I will most definitely be there. Thank you, Daniela. Being a mom is like the thing that I am most proud of in my whole entire life. Okay, I thank you to Kelly for moderating for me. If I do this again, or when I do this again, I'll post that I'm going to do one, and if anybody is willing to moderate that time, and you'll know you'll be able to be there, you'll let me know, so that so that Kelly isn't always moderating. Thank you, Melody. Okay, sounds good. Go watch the replay. All right, I am gonna sign off now and take a break and have some food and probably take a nap because my brain is on fire. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll say bye. See you guys soon. I'll get the replay up and loaded. I want to, sorry, I said goodbye already, but I want to like put in everybody's tags, not tags, handles, and write a description so that this is discoverable for others to watch. Good night, everybody. You have a great weekend too. Mwah.